Sorry, I'm doing the webinar. Thanks.
Okay, I'll switch my screen off now.
Yes, so I will share my screen. So let's see. You're presenting primary monitor. Why I don't see my son here? So basically, especially for the new ones, so we asked them apply to make some things work in a certain way, but not everything can be just done by machines, but we need to agree on some ways of proceeding with the system, because last year there was some misunderstanding, something that didn't really work, because the computers cannot really substitute completely the human interaction, so you still need to communicate with partner, and some rules needs to be clear to everyone. So we published a code of conduct. You can find it on the EASY website, on the left menu, and also on the Facebook group of the EASY users. So everything we published, I published it there on the EASY website, on the Facebook group of the EASY users, and I send it by email. So no one can say that they didn't receive it, because they are in 3 places. So the code of conduct is a set of rules, let's say. And the first rule, as already Brecht told you, is to keep your profile updated, so up to date. So if you change the colleague taking care of easy changes, your email address changes, you can still change, you have to change it in the system in easy. And as Brecht said, please ask your external institutions, your partners, there are external institutions, to update their own profile as well. We will try to we will do a check of all the external institutions to see if everyone has the contacts in their profile, because the problem is that if there is no email address and an application is sent to this institution, the application goes nowhere. So it's very important to have email contacts for all institutions in easy, external and internal. Agreements, this is a very important one. So you know that there is no way for us or for you to control the agreements in easy, because this is not an official, let's say, system document when the click can be done only when there is a document behind with the signature. So basically, your clicks on the agreement section should be based either on your institutional agreements that you signed in real life with your partners, or you should agree with partners before publishing before clicking on the partner. You should make sure that your partner institution agrees with it. So basically, when you click, you tick a box in the incoming or especially outgoing section of the agreements profile. You should make sure that the other party knows, and if you do not have an official interinstitutional agreement with this institution, you should ask them for permission. So not just to inform them, but to ask for permission to click, and so to activate the mobility. Activate the mobility means that if you click on these boxes, it means that a student is able to apply to the other institution. If this box is not clicked, the students will see no mobility is possible with this institution. So very important to be mutually aware that you clicked on each other institution. As you can see, you need to click to each kind of mobility. So if you have a bachelor mobility in Erasmus or master or PhD, you need to click on each kind of mobility. Sorry. Then, number 3. So we said already in Birmingham that when you communicate with a student, incoming student, you should always put his home coordinator in copy to the email communication. This was completely necessary when there was no notification for the outgoing events for the home coordinator. Well, now with the new developments, all coordinators receive notification for their outgoing students. But still, it's a good practice that we encourage to do in our code of conduct is to put always your fellow IRC at the other end of the mobility in copy to the communication with the student. And the fourth is about the administration role. So when you grant administration rights to your colleagues, for example, to the professor will evaluate the candidates, you always need to click in the list of administration to the AC administrator. So AC admission administrators or AC administration at the academic supervisors. Yeah. Then the application form. You know that in the last month we decided to have a standardized application form. So far, everything that I will tell you from now on was something that you had to do manually. But last week, Dream Apply completed the online development. So basically, all the compulsory questions that we are listing here are already signed as mandatory in your application form. So you don't need to click on them, but they are already clicked. So nobody can modify that. Why is important to keep questions in the right section and in the right order is because what you ask in the application form ends up in the export tables, and it's very important that everyone has the same kind of export tables so that you know where to find the information in which column. Of course, besides the fact that we have now compulsory questions, the easy application form stays highly customizable. It means that you can still add more questions. What we propose here is the minimum obligatory compulsory questions that you need to have in your application form. And as I said, from now on, they are there by default. So there is no way for no one to unclick them. So in the info and academic offer section, that is the section that was previously called priorities, you need to put here your requirements, a link to your course catalog, and the exact starting and ending dates of your semesters. This is very important for the students. This is the profile section. Jose Luis will tell you later, but it's very, I found out in December that many of you, they didn't know that they could customize the application form. They didn't know how to do it at all. It means that they never opened it. And it's very easy. You need to click on App Form, and then when you are in the sections, in order to select the questions, you need to click on World. This is the magic word, World. So in the profile section, you do not need to ask the following question. Is home institution name, home institution country, host institution name and host institution country, because these information are by default in the export table. So please do not add any questions regarding these items. Then the following questions, as I said, are now compulsory and they're automatically selected by the system for all your application forms. And they are given name, family name, gender, citizenship, and date of birth. We received some comments about the gender because now you can choose among different genders. And we are still, let's say, exploring how to do that. But if you have problems with you want to add something about the gender, we can see together. But we found together a solution with Nicola Peacock, temporary solution, because from UK they really asked to have a different kind of gender other than female and male. So if you have problem with the gender field, please contact us. Then we added as compulsory the field of study as a multiple choice, so that's there. But if you have other fields of study which do not correspond to any of them, music, dance, theater, fine arts, design, architecture, you need, so your candidate will have to click on other, and you need to add in your app form other field of study. Of course, if you have only music, you don't need to add other field of studies. But if you have other fields of studies in your institution which you don't see here, please add the questions about other fields of studies. Then compulsory question that now everyone has is main instrument or specific field of study. What study period you are applying to, and we changed it. Before was only winter semester and spring semester. Now the question is, the answer available are winter, autumn semester, spring, summer semester, academic year, other. If other, please specify your planned arrival and departure months. This is there already, or it should be added as compulsory. Then current level of education at home institution. So this is also already there, selected for everyone, and these are the options you have. This was modified after Birmingham because you asked to have first year on 3 or first year on 4, etc. You will not see this. So this is what the student sees in his end. You will, this question is already selected for you, but here you can see the option that the student has. Same for the year that the student wants to apply to. Then in the preferred section, we added as compulsory this question regarding the provision of links to audition material. So links to audio and video recording. You will see that this question is asked also afterwards, and we will explain to you why. Contact section. So this changed in the last few days, because in the indication for the standard app form, I asked you to select the extra app form fields, your email and your telephone. And actually, Dream Apply changed a bit the layout of the phrasing of this question. So basically, now the extra app form fields, your email and your telephone, have been removed, but the fields email and telephone have been made compulsory. But what your student sees is your email and your telephone. So from your end, from your app form field, you see your email, you see email and telephone, but they see your email and your telephone, so that they know that what they have to put in is their email, their telephone. Very important, all information regarding contacts should be in this section. You can choose from a variety of different questions regarding contacts. The most important is that everything regarding contacts is in this section, which might appear very obvious, but do not put information, like do not ask questions about contacts in the profile section. It has to be in the contact section. In the home, section, the compulsory questions are the name of the international coordinator and the email of the international coordinator. It was asked this to be directly linked with the institution, but that it was not possible. So these are questions which are made compulsory in the app form. In this question, in this section, you can also select the new question, professor in a main field of study at home. So you can add it if you need it, but you need to ask it in this section. In the mobility section, you can select the question choice of professor destination. This is an optional question, but if you need it, please ask it in here, in the mobility section. But please note that questions inserted in the mobility section of the application form do not appear in the export table. Do not ask why. It's like that. So you know that you will not see answers regarding mobility, the mobility section, in the export table. Finally, there are other sections. They are about education, grades, languages, career, activities, residency. There are no compulsory questions in those sections, but all information related to the headings of those sections should go in here. So everything regarding grades. So if you need to ask the transcript of records, for example, you ask it in the section grades. If you need to ask information about the language level, you ask it in the languages section, etc. In the document section, you will please list the document the student should upload. So basically the portfolio. You can really put the list so they know they will not miss anything. And then the media section that Beck already showed. Basically, what happens? It happened that sometimes it was the students forgot to upload their live audition, but more important, many of you asked to have the links to the audio material in the export table. And as material added in this media section do not appear in the export table, we needed to add an extra field in the profile so that when you want to share the table or for yourself to have the overview of the application, you can have the media links into your export table. So you would ask, why then keeping the media section? Well, we needed to keep this section because in this section, the student can add actual files, while in the question, in the profile section, the student can also copy-paste links, okay? And also this section and having the two questions about the media acts as control fields, so that you make sure that the most important parts of your application, which are your audio files, are there. So as you know, there were many double questions in the application form. This was due to the fact that in year one of the project, everyone could add questions anywhere. So we need to do a big cleaning. So we analyzed all the questions that were in the system, and we decided to clean up and delete the double question and questions that were in the wrong section. So now you need to make sure that the app form is as you want, because maybe you selected a question that was double and we deleted it, so you don't have it anymore. I put a list of deleted questions in the Facebook group. I sent it by email. If you want to have it again, I can send it to you by email. But please make sure that your application form is up to date and has all the questions you want. So going back to the code of conduct, so rule number 6, if you need to add a question to your application form, please contact me and I can add it. For example, some institutions ask to add specific questions regarding their own programs. For example, which study program of the Sibelius Academy do you want to apply for, and then a list. In that case, I can add this question related to your own programs to the easy system, and then you will be, of course, the only ones to select it. But yes, this adding of the question needs to be done at centralized level, and so all extra questions need to pass through me, and almost immediately I can add it to the application form module, and you can add it immediately. Yes, a general tip, when you are in the system, you look for institution, please use simply Control F so that it makes search in the page, because the search tool of the system doesn't find institution. So if you need an institution, you use Control F. This is not for you, this is for all the institutions which are not in easy, but you can also say that the AC is telling them to do so. They are encouraged to accept incoming applications via easy, especially if they do not have other systems in place. Because we understand that there are institutions which are part of universities, if they are linked to other systems, that they cannot use easy because they have another one. But still, we ask them to accept applications coming from easy. But we can understand if they cannot. But we found out last year that there are institutions who do not have any system, who still want their applications via email. And we say, no, you don't have any system. You need to accept applications via easy, because after all, it's exactly the same thing. Because they would receive a PDF file of the application, they can download the application, they can share it. So if you have partner institutions who are external and they say, no, we do not accept, you can tell them, the AC is giving this guideline to everyone to accept it. So please do so. If you have other disciplines other than music, you are welcome and encouraged to use easy for those as well, if you can. Our colleagues in Iceland, from the University of the Arts in Reykjavik, they are already using easy for all art disciplines, including design, including architecture. Lyon is using easy for dance and Porto for theater. So if you have other disciplines, please inform us. Use easy for the other disciplines and inform us that you're doing so. Finally, number 10, customer support. Where you're gonna call if you have problems? Us, so me first, and the working group. So please do not send emails to BREC, to the Easy Dream Apply email address. You're not supposed to do so. You're supposed to send all requests to me. I'm the central point, as they say, first point of contacts for all requests and questions about easy. And then if it's a technical question, I send it immediately to Breck and he will answer you. If it's something related to the use and maybe the working group is more into it because they're using it, I send it to them. If it's something related to policy or something that I can answer directly, I will answer directly. So I think that's all. I don't know if you are still there. I hope so. Breck, are you there? Can you open your microphone?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. For a moment. Yes.
Isabel from Lyon.
Hi. Who's speaking?
Isabel from Lyon.
Hi, Isabel. Hi. Please speak up.
Oh no. I was not at the beginning because I was dealing with other matters in my office, but it seems quite clear. And yes, we are using it for dance, and it works. And yes, we receive some phone call. In fact, Chiara received phone call from partners asking to send application. Not too easy, and she says that she replies, no, it has to go through easy, but she says it's not so easy to make them understand. But we will continue to ask people to send some application through easy, because we don't want to use paper anymore. So yeah.
And when it's an incoming application, so it is to you, they have like 100%, they are obliged to follow your rules because you are the receiving. So this they have to, because then you are entitled not to accept them. The problem is actually more when you have outgoing, because they can say no to us, we don't. But if they have another system, we can understand. But there were some institutions who say only via mails, and actually, I mean, there is no reason, because via easy it's
Simple. Yeah.
it's
Yeah. But what we do, and I hope that other institutions are listening to what I'm saying now, is that what we ask our students, we warn them that some partner institutions are using other systems, but as we use easy to do statistics and all this, we ask them to do a double one. And then they do easy anyway, even though it's not used by the partner institution to manage their application. But then the students, but they all say, yes, okay, we understand, and they do it twice.
Mm.
Mm.
Okay, yeah. Sometimes they need to do twice. Well, I can tell you that this year we had 14 more institutions in easy.
Great.
But some withdrew, so we don't have any more Nantes, Le Pont Supérieur.
Yeah.
We don't have any more Los Angeles, and then two in Finland, Tampere and Jyväskylä. I don't know how to pronounce that. But because they had so few applications that it was not worth for them. But all in all, we have 76 at the moment, 76 or 78. So
Great. That's good.
So, any other question or remarks from the others?
Will you speak about the learning agreement?
Yes,
after?
yes,
Or not?
indeed. The learning agreement, it will be the last point.
Okay.
It's actually it would be at 5:30. We hope to do it before, but Salvatore will not be able before 5:30, and is the responsible one in the working group. We know that there are problems, and actually after when it comes to the learning agreement, maybe we can start with questions, and Breck can maybe already answer or collect questions. So maybe now I can give the floor to Jose Luis.
No,
No?
I have a question.
You have a question. Who's speaking? Jonas.
Jonas from Stockholm.
Hi.
I'm completely new, but I have a question about field of study.
Yes.
Because we are University College of the Opera, and I can't see opera in the field of studies in the app form.
I see. Okay.
Is that possible?
Yeah, the thing is, opera is in the music, because which field, like, it wouldn't be music okay for you, because the fields of studies that we have now are really music, dance, architecture, theater. Opera is part of music normally, but
normally, but not always.
Yeah, but
it's theater and music. So I think this is the University College of the Opera. We're not part of the
I understand.
Conservatory.
Okay, how to do that?
And I think it would be easier for students to find us and us to find students, and I think the field of study would be opera, in my opinion.
Yeah, but when the student look, the question about field of study comes a lot after they found you. The field of study is basically a field that you have to fill in their applications to you already. Okay, so actually if they apply to you, it's because they study opera. Otherwise they wouldn't apply to you, I guess.
And I want to make
hopefully
is that if there is a special opera section, that means that all the conservatoires which have opera as a main discipline, it will mix everything, because they will not find us in the opera section, they will find us in music. So it's a bit special. No?
Yeah, no, the thing is that, students do not find institution by looking at the field of studies. They find institution by typing the name of the institution or the city or country. Okay. So it's not like, okay, study opera, I type opera and I get all the institution offering opera. No, it doesn't work like that. the field of study is asked only after, when they apply to you. There is also so normally when they apply to you, it's because they study singing, or maybe let's see, or your outgoing students, when they go out, so from you to another institution, then you mean maybe they would be confused, they apply for theater. Okay, let's see how to
directing, maybe. Right now we don't have education careers in directing, but we have had it.
Yeah, but directing, you mean a staging of the direction of an opera, or conducting?
Direction.
Direction. Okay, okay. Then we'll be in the field of study theater. But it's so that opera.
But we had it before, but not right now. So now it's not a problem.
Okay.
Anyways, we could maybe have both.
Yeah, well, in the
music and theater.
Music. Yeah, let's see. I will see with the working group if they feel like adding one field of study in the among the options, or leave it to music, or if somebody has, they have to do other and then they add opera. But basically this field,
we could sorry, I think we could I'm completely new here, so if it's not a problem, we shouldn't create a problem. Let's see if it's...
Yeah, let's see if your students can work out with what we have, and if you see that there are problems, we will think about adding opera or music and theater or something. Okay. Great, thanks. Other questions? You can just open up your microphone as Jonas did.
Oh yeah, for some reason chat isn't available for me any longer.
Yeah, neither for me. I don't know. So
yeah. That's unfortunate. So yeah, please do turn on your microphone and just ask a question if you have one, since the chat isn't working.
Yeah. Can we give some seconds? Breck, you want to say something?
Yeah, one thing that came to my mind with Johannes's question was the fact that we can possibly add an additional app form question to help clarify the opera. But you guys know how you use the system better than I do, so I don't know if my suggestion is good or not. So, but anyway, possibly an app form question, an additional app form question, can help clarify that.
Yeah, I mean, in among the options when they have to indicate which field of studies they're into, there is also other, and in other they can put opera. That's the one, and then, because there are two questions actually. One is your field. Wait, let me go and check the field of studies. Yeah, one is field of study, and then you have the choice: music, dance, theater, fine arts, design, architecture, and other. Then you can indicate the other field of studies, and then they have another question, which is main instrument / specific field of study, and that's an open question. And there you can for example, select in the previous one, you can select music, and in the following one, specific field of study, you select opera. That could be a solution. Okay, so if we don't have other questions, I pass the floor to José Luis. José Luis?
Hello?
Yes, hello.
Can you hear me?
Wait. Sara?
Yes.
It's Claire from Poitiers.
Hi, Claire.
I'd like to come back to a small thing.
Yeah.
Is there a way at which moment a student can clone his or her application?
Perhaps I can answer this.
Yeah?
So the applicant progression looks like this. the applicant will come to the AEC website. They
Yeah.
will go through the process. They will select a home institution. They will select a a partner institution, a host institution, and then they will submit an application to this institution. Once they've done this, there is an application in the system from which can be cloned. So when they go to apply to a second mobility at a different institution, then they will be given the option to clone the previous application.
Okay, okay, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Other questions? No questions. So, Jose Luis, maybe you can finally start. Then, if you have other questions that come to your mind later, you can always ask them, and we are there until 6, so you can always answer questions about the first or second presentation, no problem. Okay, Jose Luis.
Okay. Good afternoon. Can you hear me? Hi.
Yes,
Can you hear me?
yes.
It's open. Okay.
We can
I
hear
don't know
you.
if it's possible to see my screen or not.
Yes.
Yes, we can see your screen.
Yes, we see it.
Okay. Okay. So good afternoon, everybody. For those who are new, I'm Jose Luis from the Conservatories of Vigo, and I will try to deal a little bit closely with how it works exactly with application forms and the use of tables in the system. And thank you, Sara, because it was very clear your presentation, and it helps a lot just to show you exactly what happens if we are not doing in the right way. So I will begin with application forms, and I hope it is easy to follow my slides. I try just to make some screen captures and to show you, to guide where to go and where to find application forms tool and how to interact. Probably almost everyone knows about, but for those who are new, arrived, maybe don't know yet. But first, go to the left menu, and in institutions, when you click there, you will find the application forms link. And after that, we should choose the right application. We have a different, in our case, bilaterals for those who are not from Erasmus, and Erasmus Plus, which is the most common one. And the most important is to click on the white wrench tool on your right. And then from there, we can make all editions, as it was shown before. And we can name our application just to make a difference. And once after naming it, the first step is we can go section by section. And in the edition, we can see all fields that appear on the left right, and then we should edit one by one. Let's go to the first of the list, which is information academic offer. This is general information that you can insert the links to the academic offer, or to give the special instructions to the applicant. We can't manage to edit the text using the symbols that you see on the green ball on the higher right higher corner. And then every change, please do not forget, after doing any change, always click on save, because if not, everything will be lost. And then in profile, we can also, in the general field, in the main field, we can just give instructions, and then we can go to the Word. And opening the Word, we find all fields related with profile that we can customize. Some of them, as Sara told us before, are compulsory. They are not editable anymore. And then it's just to be sure that this information is located in the right place. Because if it is not located in the right place, then it's not possible to use it on the tables. The tables are very closely related with what we are writing here. Then it is up to you to decide which from the proposed fields are interested, but clicking on them, and if you want to make them mandatory or not, then you have to click in both cases. If you want just to have the field in your application, but not making it mandatory, you can then leave it empty, and please always save changes. When we have some requirements, some specific requirements for certain for applicants coming from certain countries, like I don't know, Australia or China or other, that you need a specific information that is not useful for the rest of nationalities, then we can fix special requirements, open this the tools in adding other territories. In adding other territories, you can customize your questions concerning a certain country. Okay, and then for the next sections, it's very easy. The procedure is exactly the same for contact, for home university. We have just to open in Word, and what is you act there is for every country, for every applicant, unless you want special requirements for students, applicants from different or specific parts of the or geographical regions concerning visas or concerning other requirements that we should use. I don't know if this is too fast or not, but if you want, I prefer, if you have any questions concerning this, I prefer to hear now before to continue with the tables. Any question? It was enough clear? Hello? Can you hear me? Because I cannot hear nobody. Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you. Don't worry, we can hear
Okay.
you.
Okay.
I think there are
So,
no questions, but if there are, please speak up.
Okay, then if there are no questions.
I maybe have a question.
Yes,
I
Tiger.
follow you on the screen, hello, and I just open and I see name, Stockholm, and usage. Bilaterals 3 and Erasmus Plus 17 and Nord Plus 23 and I'm very new here and I think my school is very new, so I'm a bit surprised.
But that means that for those different agreements or application forms, you are using one in the number specified there, are using the one template, and the other, the number of Erasmus Plus. You have the number of indicates, the number indicates how many agreements do you have activated in this moment.
Okay.
Yes, and then you can, this is, you can add agreements, as Sara was explaining before. In the part of agreements, you have to click in the institutions accepting you as a partner. And then more agreements you have, higher is the number there.
I see, thank you.
Welcome. Another question? No? Then, if you want, we go for to the second part, which is how to configure our tables, which is one of the, for me, of the most important tools to deal with data. Then, first of all, pay attention to this. Is we can get in our tables only those fields having been ticked while setting the application forms in each section. If the certain information is no ticket in the application form, then won't appear in the tables. So to find the tables, we have tables for incoming students, and we can create also tables for outgoing students. On the left menu, we can decide which students, if incoming, which list is, which table do we need, then incoming or outgoing, and then just click on tables from each section, just to create incoming or to create outgoing in the right place. Once we have the one table, we will find a new sheet that we should name or give a name. Depending on your needs, you can create tables for your coordinators, for head of department, or for whatever. Probably you need to create different tables, if it is the case or not. And then you will find some filters. And then we have to set the filters up. And then the filtering, it is possible to use according to different criteria. We can filter the information by semesters, so for the full academic year, or by intakes, or status application, offer status, decision, by regions, etc. Then it is up to us. In my case, if I want to filter by terms, full term, full semester, spring semester, or the full academic year, or by intakes, depending, you see, and for countries, it is very, very intuitive. And then we can decide other criteria, we can choose other criteria like home institution, or by mobility types. It's possible also in case that you want to create separate tables for bachelor's applicants, for master applicants, or for doctorate applicants, depending on the situation of each institution. And then by applicant status, we can also decide if we want the already submitted or the tables with the students or applicants who are preparing their application. If we want to make the choice or to have the information only by offer status, then nominated or accepted or rejected, that is, or for having a list of those who already gave their decision, the final decision, after we sent an offer of to arrive to a certain institution. For every filter that you change, please save, because if not, we will lose the, it is not working. And then once we have the created table, after application of all filters that we might use, we can order the data by clicking in the name of each column. We cannot yet to change the columns, but this is easy. We can export our tables to Excel file, and then in Excel file we can accommodate and reshape the information as we need. But when we get a table, we will find two different ones, one black on the left side and one white on the right side. And those are for different functions. And then the white one is for table editing, and the black one is for setting up the columns, which is the most important. The table editing that make let's say possibilities of rename, sharing. That is very useful tool, because we can share our table with a colleague or with an assistant, with the head of department, or whatever, with just functions for printing, or to convert in Excel, or to just to delete if we don't need anymore. And then the black range tool for column setting. And here is when we see, or we will see, the fields that appear in the application forms. We have, for instance, in offers or in profile, when we go to there are certain metadata, but that you will find when by opening what is possible to appear, like a number of application or status of application. But here is the way to act and to decide which columns do you want to see. And then in application, in offers, I want to see that one, okay, and I want to have a column with the first name, with family name. I want to have a column for the offer decision or the status, the application. And then it's always this relation with the application forms. And never forget to apply change in any cases, but this is very important. So again, the white range tool, what is possible to do, and option to share. And this is options are not providing access to the application, but this is only in the with the black tool we will see later. And by clicking on sharing, we have the possibilities of introducing an email. And then if we need to send information to reviewers with a limited access, for as a temporary administrator, it is possible going to system and clicking on administrators like this. We can share the options with colleagues and giving a role as a new administrator. And then, but this is, for instance, for 24 hours or for a couple of days, giving access to someone to review if there is an applicant, or they have to make prioritize a list in certain specialization or so. If you want to do it through the system, it is very, very useful. And you can set up the period, okay, and password, etc. So this is intuitive. But then on the black range tool, then it appears, it will appear an application with a number, and from this number, when you click on this, they will see the application of the student. They have a temporary access to the application of the student. And this is very important. So some other possibilities we are still working on, but just to clarify that in the application form, everything that is, every information that is in mobility section is not related with the table. So we have to be sure that the information on the other sections, just to check and just to click and activate what we want to see there. I don't know if I can share my screen now, just to go to my case, to my table section. Then I don't know if you can see it now. And then, for instance, here I have a table where I decided to have the sending institution name, family name, first name. Maybe I don't like, I don't need citizenship. Okay, then I go here and I go to the profile of the student. I go to citizenship, I untick, I go to apply changes, and then immediately this column disappears. or if I want to add some other that could be interesting, like offers. Okay, I want to see, well, this is not very interesting now, but I want to see the gender of the student. This could be not interesting, but just as an example. And then immediately it appears here, the column with the gender. Is it more clear now? That it is using this tool that we can, I want the email, or I want to have a column with a telephone, with a mobile. Then I click on the telephone mobile, I apply changes, then it appears one column with telephone numbers. And then it's just from here that I have to use it or share to someone, or to download the data to an Excel file. And like this, you can customize if you prefer first to have first the family name than the name or the information, and to organize the columns up to your wishes. Because it's from here it's not possible to do. The only thing you can order is by the name to make to order the alphabetically in one sense or another sense the information. If you want alphabetical order from institutions or alphabetical order by email, I don't know, you can get it, or by applications you can get it, but you cannot, like in Excel, to move one column to another. But this is very easy when you export to a real Excel. So I just open to questions, if any. Hello?
Yes, we are here. So any questions?
Okay.
Thank you, Jose Luis. Very nice presentation.
Welcome. Maybe a little bit fast, but just try to recover the lost time. Is it okay? Don't hesitate. If any one of you have questions, you can always write me as part of the task force in the working group, and please, you are welcome to, and I will answer your questions anytime.
Yeah. Then of course is when you do it, then you find problems. But normally it's very easy, and if you have doubts, you can always open this presentation, because actually what I presented and what Breck and Jose Luis presented, then the presentations are already on the website, because they are the same as we did in Birmingham, with some updates, especially for me and for Breck. But for example, this one by Jose Luis is the same, and it's already on the Easy website, so it's really step by step. So when you are doing it, when you're building your app from your tables, if you have any doubt, you can always open the presentation and see, or as Jose Luis said, just contact us. But now we can reply to you live.
Sara, it's Claire again.
Hi, Claire.
I have a question that has nothing to do with the last presentation.
Yes.
I cannot find the code of conduct on the website.
Yeah, it's so if you go on the Easy website,
Yeah.
is like manuals for IRCs on the left.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it should be, it's there. You don't find it? It's not there?
No.
I see. Wait, because I have to see on my phone, because the screen is being registered. But maybe I can do it even from here.
Do I have to log in first?
No.
No. Program users manuals.
Yes.
Is that in the users manual?
Yes, indeed. User
But
manual,
yeah.
and then workflow. Easy code of conduct. You see, it's the fourth one.
Oh yes. Okay. Thank
Okay.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Then, of course, when I wrote it, it's because we didn't know if Dream Apply could make some questions compulsory. So, the document, for example, about the application form, which is linked to the code of conduct, says you need to select these questions. But now those questions are already made compulsory. So, but the rest of the other rules, they are the same.
Okay, great. Well, I have to go, but thank you very much for this very interesting, very interesting and efficient presentations. So see you.
See you. And if you want to follow the learning agreement one, you can. Oh, because I'm recording it, and if the recording goes well, then I will upload it on the website. And yeah, the learning agreement will be the last part.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye. Okay. Any other question? I see that Valencia is the microphone on. Maybe you want to speak. Is Francesc maybe there?
Yeah, it's Francesc.
Hi,
Hello,
Francesc.
Sara.
Hi.
Hello. Yes, how are you?
Did you want to ask any question?
No.
Okay.
Everything more or less clear. Thank you.
Great. We see, that's the chat. I break. I can see, but not the presentation.
Hi, Sarah.
Hi. Who's speaking? Breck?
Oh, that was Breck. You said Breck.
Breck. Yes, because I see now in the screen. I see the chat. I suppose.
Oh, is it working again?
I see
no,
now
no, it's not available. Right.
on the screen. I see question by Nicola. Apologize if you have already answered this, as only Gen 230. It should upload their link in the or is a composer with course to upload in the may not have further media files to upload in the media section. Okay. Breck, can students upload PDF in the media files? Because in the case of composers, they might need to upload only scores and not recordings.
I do believe so. Let me take a closer look.
Yeah.
If not, they can upload to. You can upload. Applicants definitely can upload PDFs somewhere. I think it might be documents though. Let me take a closer look.
Q&A. How did I get this? Announcement. I don't know if it's wrong. Now I don't see the screen, but I see a chat. Is it normal? You all see a chat, or is it only me?
You might be on a. You might be on a different window.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh my God! How did you do? How did I do this? Because as I'm now recording, so this is what is being recorded. Pick up layout. Participants.
To answer Nicola's question,
Yes.
PDFs should be uploaded to documents.
Okay, but what she's asking is that if now the media section is a control field, so if you don't add the media, you cannot submit the application. What about composers who might not have an audio or video file?
What I can say is that as I've been testing the applicant process, I myself don't have an audio file to upload. So I have just uploaded a small MP3, and that passes me through the requirement. So it is possible to upload something. The applicant can find, I don't know, there are different really small MP3 files on computers for different various noises, and they could just upload one and even label it necessary to submit application or something. So that's what I would say.
I see. Okay. I see. Okay, so they need to upload something, even if they don't have it. Maybe a composition of them that was performed or something like that. Okay. Any other question before we pass it to Lucia? So no question. I think that yeah, the Lucy can start her presentation. We see her. We see that.
Okay, can you hear
Yes.
me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Can you see me?
Yes.
Okay, good, because I cannot see myself. So I hope I look fine.
No, you look. No, we only see actually your presentation, but not yourself.
Not me. Okay.
Real quick, Lucy, may I say one more thing about the uploading of media?
Yeah.
You can also insert a link. And so the applicant doesn't even need to find an MP3 format file on their computer. They could just go to the section below the field where a file would be dropped, and they can click on the link.
Okay.
And I put in youtube.com, and I added it, and it's there, and so it counts as a media. Just youtube.com counts as a media. So the control that we put in place for you was more so that applicants must think twice before submitting.
Yeah.
Oh, you know, I didn't upload a media. Oh, I will upload a media. It's not very hard to get around, but
Yeah.
it at least makes sure that they get the message that they should upload a media. That's all I have to say.
I see. Okay, thanks. A good tip.
So can I start?
Yes.
Okay, so hello everybody. And my presentation is for users who are not experienced. And it is about how to manage applications for the incoming and outgoing. And in order to do this, we will follow step by step one application from two different sides. First from the side of the receiving institution and then from the side of the sending institution. And for each slide, I suggest you to read the title, which refers exactly to the point we talk about in that slide. And immediately after, please concentrate on the yellow arrows that you can see in the slide, because they indicate exactly the points that you need to notice. Now, you will see 80 slides, but do not worry because the presentation will last not more than 20 minutes. Okay, so just no, I cannot do that. Sorry. Okay, so get started now with the title, and please keep attention at the arrow. Okay, let's start with one student applying for an Erasmus mobility. This is the easy homepage. So suppose that the student is from Vigo, and so keep attention at the arrow, and he is applying for Frosinone. The student is Lucia. She fills in her application, and at the end, she clicks on submit. The destination institution receives a message that an application for that institution was submitted. Now let's enter easy and check. Lucia's application is here. We want to enter the application, we have to click on view. This is Lucia's application, and we have just to scroll the window to check the application. Now we can print the application, or we can get a PDF, or we can send it to our colleagues for the evaluation through share. If we need to share the application, we have to click on share and then choose between two different options. If we want to share a read-only view of the application, we can type an email address. Otherwise, we can get a shareable link and send the link. So, Sara, can you please tell me that if it is easy to follow this presentation very quickly? If you just note the title and the yellow arrows. Is it okay?
Yeah, we see
Can
everything.
go very fast? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So if we click on this envelope, we can send a message to the student. If we click on the phone, we can call the student. If we need, we can move the applicant from one term to another one, just using the drop-down menu when we click on Submitted Academic Year. We can add a flag or more than one, and we can write on the flag everything we need. In this case, I just wrote classical piano. And we can also manage flags using the wrench on the right. Flags can also be used to filter applications. For example, if we want to get all the applications for classical piano, we can click on flags and then on classical piano. Let's talk now about the different menus and the filters we have on the page. Can you see the funnel? The funnel is the symbol to filter, for filtering applications. We can use the menu on the top to apply a filter, but remember that anytime you choose a filter, you have to click on reload. Now, this is a very important filter, probably the most important one, academic year and term. You can choose the academic year and the term and filter all the applications. Journal. If we click on journal, we get a daily diary of what happens to incoming applications. We can subscribe for a daily email if we want, so that we can receive a message anytime a new application for our institution is submitted. Now browse. Can you see browse on the sidebar menu? If we click on browse, we get this window and we can browse or filter applications using different criteria. You can see all the criteria, just checking the yellow arrows. If we click on Applicants Progress, we can see all our applications at the different preparation stages. It is a sort of piece of furniture with many drawers. If we open one drawer, we find all the applications at that preparation stage. So if we open Prepare, we find all the applications that have not yet been submitted. If we open Submitted, we find all the applications that have already been submitted. An application has to pass several steps from the submission by the student till the admittance or rejection by the host institution. And the different status of an application are called offers and replies. We find here all the applications divided according to their status, like another dresser, another piece of furniture with many drawers, one with the applications waiting for the nomination, one with the accepted applications, and so on. So I've used the expression waiting for nomination. Before going any further, I need to clarify the word nomination. When Erasmus students had to prepare paper applications, each application had to be signed by the Erasmus coordinator at your institution and had to be sent through the Erasmus office to guarantee that the application was approved by your institution. An online application system requires different ways to guarantee the approval by the home institution. And this is why the nomination is necessary. It replaces the signature on the application. And now we can go on. Please keep attention at the yellow box on your right. There is also a yellow arrow. To change the status of an application and move it from one drawer to another one, we have to click on the box, on the yellow box on the right. In this case, it is yellow because it is waiting for nomination, but the color is different according to the status. So if we click on the box, this is the window that opens. And we can use this page to change the status of the application and update the student about the situation of his application. After choosing the correct status, we have to click on Save. When we click on Confirm and Send out, an email is automatically sent to the student to update him about the situation of his application. And according to the different situations, we will be able to send different messages. The available status that we can change are different depending on whether the student is incoming or outgoing, and depending on whether the home house institution is internal or external. When we send out a message to the student, we can add attachments. For example, information about our institution or an acceptance letter and so on. We can also add addresses if we want to send CC to the Erasmus coordinator and so on. And so on. Nowadays, it's not so important because you know that now, for example, the acceptance letter is sent automatically to the home coordinator, but before it was not. That this is why it was so important. But Sara already described this point as part of the code of conduct. Anytime we change the status of the application, the name and the color of the box on the right changes, and the application moves to a new drawer. If we click on Save, but not on Confirm and Send out, there will be a clock near the box. You can see the clocks. Keep attention at the yellow arrow on the right. With the new status, remind us that we didn't inform the student. If we click on Confirm and Send out, and the message is sent to the student, no clock appears. If we click on the name of the student, a new window opens. Here it is. In the inbox, we can find all the messages and attachments that we sent to the student. For example, if we send the acceptance letter, we will find it here. If we click on Export, we will get the student's learning agreement. If we need rankings, we can get them here. And finally, tables. And Jose already told us the main things about that. And from each table, we can also go to each single application. If the table is online, if you have an Excel file, you cannot get a link to the application. But if you have an online table, you also have the possibility to directly go to the application. We will see now how to manage outgoing applications. So the new student now is from Frosinone and is applying to Vigo. So sorry, I've been a test student for both incoming and outgoing, and I used my name. So that's it. I used different emails, but the name was the same. So now Lucia fills in the application and clicks on Submit. If we want to see her application, we have to enter easy, click on outgoing this time, and then on browse. And Lucia's application is here. If we want to enter her application, we have to click on view. This is the application. We can scroll the window and check the application. We can print the application, we can get a PDF, or we can share it, for example, with our colleagues to receive the approval for the mobility. And everything is exactly as for an incoming application. If we click on the envelope, we can send a message to the student, or we can call them. If we need, we can move the applicant from one term to another one. If we click on the range, we can also edit the application. And this can be useful when the student makes mistakes and we want to help them. But remember that anytime you edit the application has to be submitted again. We can add a flag if we want. When we manage applications, it is useful to filter them according to the academic year or the term. But remember that anytime you choose a filter, you have to click on reload. If we are interested in the application for one specific institution, we can use this filter. And we have other options to filter or navigate through our applications. If we click on Applicants Progress, we can see all our outgoing applications at the different preparation stages. If we click on Offers and Replies, we find all the applications gathered according to the status. And all those waiting for nomination are in the same drawer, all the accepted ones are in another one, and so on. If we click on the box, this is the window that opens. We can use this page to change the status of the application and update the student about the situation of his application. And the procedure is exactly the same as we have seen before. What is different is the list of offers, because this is an outgoing student. And we can compare here the list of offers for an incoming student and for an outgoing student. Now let's scroll the complete list with the different doors. Starting from waiting for nomination, external was notified, and so on. I think that everybody already knows this. When we send out the message to the student, we can add attachments or we can add messages. Remember that anytime we change the status of the application, the name and the color of the box changes and the application moves to a new drawer. And remember also that if we click on Save, but not on Confirm and Send Out, there will be a clock near the box with a new status to remind us that we did inform the student. And if we click on Confirm and Send Out, no clock appears. This is the window that opens when we click on the name of the student. If we click on Inbox, we find all the messages we sent to the student and all the attachments. If we click on the range, we can download the student's photo or we can delete the applicant if we need. If we click on Export, we will get the student's learning agreement. We can filter applications also using search. And finally, table. From each table, we can also go to each single application, like for incoming students. Now, I want to be really sure that everything is absolutely clear. And so we will see step by step what happens when we change all the possible status of an application. So we will see first an application from Frosinone to Vigo, that is an outgoing application. Then we will see very quickly an application from Vigo to Frosinone, that is an incoming application. So when the student applies, easy, categorize the application as waiting for nomination. And the box on the right is yellow. Probably before nominating our student, we want to check the application. So we check the application, it is okay, we click on feedback and then on save. When we save the new status, the application changes door and the box changes name and color and becomes pink. Next step, in case outgoing applications need to be approved by an internal commission, we send the application to the commission. Just to remember that we can change the status of the application, click on send to committee, and then on save. When we save the new status, the application changes drawer, and the box changes name and color, and becomes blue. If the application is not approved, we change the status into rejected. In this case, it is important that the student is informed, and I suggest to click on save and send out. The box changes name and color and becomes red. If the application is approved, we click on nominated and then on save and send out. The application changes drawer, the box becomes orange. From this moment on, the home institution, in this case Vigo, can take care of the application. First of all, the Erasmus coordinator checks if everything is okay, and then clicks on save. In my screen, I can see that the application has changed drawer, the box has changed name and color. This is what appears on my screen when Vigo forwards the application to the evaluation committee and changes the status of the application into sent to committee. The box changed name and color. After the evaluation, the application can be accepted, rejected, or put in a waiting list. This is what happens on my screen when Vigo puts the application into the waiting list. The box becomes green, gray. This is what happens on my screen when the application is rejected. The box becomes red. And finally, the last case, the application is accepted. The box becomes green. Now, from the other side, let's follow now very quickly an incoming application from Vigo to Frosinone. And this is what I can see on my screen when the Erasmus coordinator in Vigo clicks on feedback. This is what I can see when he clicks on send to committee. Suppose that application is not approved by the home institution. In this case, the Erasmus coordinator changes the status into rejected. The box becomes red. If the home institution approves the application, the following step is to nominate the student. Vigo changes the status into nominated. The box becomes orange. From this moment on, Frosinone can take care of the application. First of all, the Erasmus coordinator checks if everything is okay, then clicks on save. The application changes drawer, the box changes name and color. The application is sent to the committee then for the evaluation. As a consequence, the application can be put in a waiting list or rejected or accepted. When the student receives the message that he has been accepted, he is also required to inform the host institution about his decision. If the final decision is positive, an arrival flag appears. That's all. This is the end. Thank you. Do you have any questions?
Thanks. Thanks, Lucia. Are you still there?
Yes,
Yes.
I am here.
Yes. So what about the others? The new one, especially Jonas and others?
No, no question, but it was quite really easy
Yeah.
in the name and also easy for the procedure to manage application.
Yeah. And then if you do it on your account while watching this video that we will post, if I'm recording it well, then it will be much easier. That's a good way to learn. So if we are sure if there are no questions, Salvatore is already there, and we can start with the learning agreement part. So no questions about this and the previous presentations? 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay, so we can you can pass the ball to Salvatore. So Salvatore, you can you can take control of the screen and the switch on your microphone. I hope you can hear me. You are there. Here we are. But you need to switch on your microphone because now it's off.
Now can you see me?
Now we can hear you, and I think we are looking at your screen.
Yeah, because I just click on share my screen and it doesn't work.
Well, we see. No, it works because we see it.
Okay.
But you need to go now on your presentation.
Okay, I don't have presentation because it's Windows open on my screen, so.
Okay, so yeah,
because it's complicated with PowerPoint, it's not possible to show it.
So yes, you can minimize your.
Now can you see my screen?
We see your screen. Yes.
Okay, perfect. Wait. So everyone is ready. So here you have. Okay, if you have any question during my presentation, please just stop me because this one, what is it? I don't want to see this screen here. I don't know why. Wait, because I need to, yeah. Okay, so I open here 3 navigator internets because on the left here, it's me, so it's the sending institution here. So I opened my administrative account in Easy as sending institutions. So on the left here. In the middle here, there is a window with the student parts. So you can see that the student has already received his welcome to login in Easy. Is already has been nominated from the both institution. Here you can see that he has received the acceptance from the host institution and he has sent already the final decision to the host institution, and also of course here as sending institution the student has been accepted also. And on the right here, it's the hosting institution on the left. And you can see here, the student is here and it has been accepted too. Is it clear, the 3 parts for everyone?
Mm-hmm.
So on the left here, I'm sending my students here. Here on the center, in the center is my students screen, and on the right is the host institution. So I'm doing it from the left to the right. So when everything is done like now, so you are at the point that the student has been accepted and everything is right now with the nomination and the acceptance and also the final decision. So now it's going to be ready to make the learning agreements. And in these parts, you have here the export button. So when you click here, you have here learning agreements, dreamagreements.eu. So when you click here, you have a new window that invites you to open a new tab here on the top, and it will open a new tab with the learning agreements for your students. And here you can see that as sending coordinator, the learning agreement is already pre-filled with all the information that you have already pre-filled in the application. So you can see that here, students, birds, Belgium, May, blah, 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 everything is from Conservatoire Royal de Brussels, which is my institution. So it's the sending institution, and the receiving institution, it's DreamApply demo, and it's on the right side. So you can see that there, everything is already done. This part has been already filled in because you can do it in the study plan, in the application. So you can change here everything you want. You can add new courses. You can put here academic year or just a term, and you can just adjust your learning agreements, your credits. So it's 94 credits, so it's quite a lot. So I just cancel the new line. You can, of course, choose the level of language. And here you have the table B, which you can also, of course, edit. Here, and it's also, maybe I can put the same 52 credits. So now, if I want to add my signature, you really need to be sure that you are doing it as sending coordinator. If you don't see these parts, actually it's a problem. So you really need to be sure that when this window is open as sending coordinator or receiving coordinator or as students. So now, as sending coordinator, I can prepare the learning agreement with the students, and actually I can sign. So here, Salvatore Gioveni, Erasmus coordinator, and I can write here RAC sending institution, and I can sign in here. It's G, and I add my signature. So here you can see that my signature has been already filled with the dates, my name, and my position. Don't forget to save it. If you forget to save it, you see here, agreement saves successfully. Now, if you want that your students sign in, you just notify your student here. So I'm still the sending coordinator. So I will send a notification to the students. And normally the students receive an email. You can see that here. I'm the student in the middle part here with the student parts emails. And the student has received an email. So you have received a new learning agreement. So blah, 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 with sending institution, Brussels, and the host institution, the demo institution from DreamApply. So if I'm the student now, so you can see I'm the student. So he needs to click with a new tab, and you can see that here you are the student now. So the student now can see exactly the same learning agreement that you just filled as sending coordinator. So you can see here, I'm the student from Conservatoire, blah, 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 is playing organ. with 52 credits. And you can see my signature. Actually, here you can see that the signature is a participation, is because the learning agreement has been opened by the students. So normally it means that something has been changed in the learning agreement. So maybe you can change something. You can see here from the start dates, you can change it. For example, for the first semester for Brussels, I don't know, 1st February of this year till the end of June 30. I save it. So if you want to sign it as students, you really need to be sure that you are signing in as a student. And also here on the address of the internet address, you can see here the 4 numbers. Actually, it's interesting to copy it because it's the ID of a learning agreement. Every learning agreement has only one ID. So it's quite interesting to copy this number if you want that these students has only one idea. So you can see here 5537. So not the student, sorry? Yeah. So normally here you can see that the student can sign the learning agreements. Is the student position, and I'm sorry for my writing, but I'm writing it with my mouse. So student signature. So you can see that the boss signature has been filled. So don't forget to save it. So now if I'm the host institution here, I can see my incoming students on the right, and I can also export the learning agreements. You can see, I'm sorry, but I have to open more the things. Yeah. So I click here on the learning agreements, and I have the new tab. And here I have a new tab opened as receiving coordinator. So the receiving coordinator can just check the learning agreements. He can check everything is correct. For example, organ 52 is not possible. I write just 20. I save it. Actually, the table B is not about the hosting institution, so I suppose that is right. And I can sign it. So you can see that if I change something in the learning agreements, it means that everyone has to re-sign again the learning agreements. So I can sign it again. So I make demo institution hosts. Here. Sorry for the writing. I add my signature. So here normally I can see my host institution has signed the learning agreements. I can save it. And now I can notify the other parts to sign again. So we have the email address, so you can fill in the address of the sending coordinator. Actually, this one is a new function. I didn't see that. So, oops. And I can notify also the students. So the students' email is this. So you can copy paste just the email of the students to sign. Yeah, so normally I can sign again the learning agreement. You can see here. So you can sign again the learning agreements. So So now I'm the sending institution. Here, I can go ahead to the learning agreements. I'm here, sending institution. I need to re-sign the learning agreements. Sending institution, that's me. So save, and now the student has to re-sign again. You can refresh the learning agreements. So you need to be sure that it's you as students. You can see that now I have two green agreements here with the signature. So the student has to sign again to confirm the learning agreements. So I sign again as a student. I'm sorry for writing. So now everything is green, you can see. So now the learning agreement is signed by the three parts. So now you can, as a sending institution, here, if you refresh now all the parts, you can see that everyone has correctly signed the learning agreements. Now you can frozen the learning agreement. That's like that. Nobody can change anything. So you can export your learning agreements in PDF. You can open it here. Normally the PDF has to be exported. So here you have your learning agreements exported, the final version with the three signatures. And you can also sending by email to, I don't know, to everyone. For example, I sent to my colleagues from Brussels. I can share the agreements. So now I can check my emails here. And normally I should receive an email, but maybe it takes some time. Oh, just here. So, it takes a little bit time for receiving the learning agreement. So you can also print, of course, your learning agreements. So now, if you want to change something, you still have the possibility to change something. But if you change something, of course, you need to resign by the three parts. If you go to the working parts, you can change the data and the information inside, but you need to resign again with the three parts. And also, if you change something, you have here, sorry, I'm a little bit too fast. Here you can see that you can see which things has been changed. So you can see that the sending coordinator has signed the learning agreements. Here you can see, if you remember, I just changed the credits. I changed the date here also, so you have kind of a history of the learning agreements modifications. So now I think if you have any questions or something, I can just try to reply to you. Well, I hope it's clear.
Hi.
Yeah.
Isabel speaking from Lyon. Thank you very much. It's very, very clear. Just a question, because I'm not sure anymore. To use this learning agreement process, both institutions sending and receiving have to be an easy member, or just the sending one is enough?
Actually, I don't know because here I just log in with my administrative's easy system, so I'm part of the program.
You're part of it, so it's not a problem. But if the other institution is not a member of EASY, can we, by using the same process and their email addresses, ask for them to sign or not?
Yeah, I think it's possible because learning agreement is not a part of the easy system. It's an external tool. So I think with Google, I think it's possible. But Drake, someone of AC can confirm what I'm saying.
Yeah, Salvatore, the Dream Agreement is a public tool free for use.
Okay, great.
You just go to dream-agreement.eu and anybody can use it.
Yeah, okay, great.
Wonderful.
Yeah, you're welcome. It's just that out of the easy system, there are what we call export profiles. And when you go to this export feature, it takes all the information from the system and automatically fills the fields.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
I hope it was clear for the presentation. Okay. So, another question or something?
Not still, Isabel, not on that part. I have some questions, but for the next steps during and especially during the mobility part. But I guess it will be after.
No, we can try during the mobility. So it's here. Yeah, so I suppose that it's the host institution that he has to do something here.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I can just.
But still, still are missing some important things, which is during the mobility when we have to extend, because it's the case for us a lot. So we have a lot of students applying for only one semester and finally staying 2 semesters. And during the mobility space, there
you
is
have to change the dates.
To change the length of the mobility.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. That's
so. Yeah. Here we need to add something with the dates.
And
also during mobility.
For the same purpose, to add this little box saying that we want to copy the table here to copy paste here under mobility. Because if not, we have to rewrite everything. And
I think we have asked it, but I don't know how is the process about it. So I don't know.
Yeah, because really, I think it's so.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're completely right.
Major changes during mobility is the fact that students ask for extension, and then we have to rewrite everything and to change.
I think here you can see that copy order from the table E, but it's still before the mobility.
Yeah.
You see here.
Yeah.
So normally these parts should normally be here too.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
So we need to ask it these things here. Actually, this one is not possible because it's not a copy of the table A. This part.
Yeah.
I think it's a wrong place.
Yeah, it should be a copy of the table
from before mobility. Yeah. That's right.
Thing.
Yeah, that's right.
It's not. Of course, we can do that, but as it is a very, very convenient tool, if it's possible to have that option, it would help a lot for us and save a lot of time.
Yeah, So this one, if someone from AEC or Easy Dream Apply can notice that this one actually is not on the right place.
Yeah.
It should be here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I examined this a while ago, and of course, I don't use it for my day-to-day work, so you guys are the experts. So I appreciate, so this is the copy all from table A button. You're saying that that should be copy all from table B, or what should it be?
It's just
Oh, yeah.
during the mobility, we would need copy of table all from table A, or
This one,
table
copy here.
and for during the mobility exceptional changes to table
Oh,
B,
no,
Yeah.
but I,
also a copy of the table B from the before the mobility.
Table B. Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
I think I understand. So is this because the information in table A changes just slightly, or is it?
It's not allowed. Yeah, we need to
For
copy this
extensions.
part. Yeah.
So, for example, a student has English, testing, and organ main subjects with mobility, and for the fall semester. Finally, he stays for the spring semester, and then we have to rewrite all the items.
Oh, even fall semester.
And to put reason of change, which is extension, for example.
Okay.
And of course we can do it, but
Right.
it would be so convenient to be able to just copy everything. Sometimes and change one subject because it's just on the fall semester and it is replaced by another discipline the spring semester. But then we have all the lists again, and it's very easy to indicate that it's an extension.
Okay. Yeah. Actually, Salvatore did bring this to our attention about, 6 months ago before Birmingham. And I looked into it and I didn't understand exactly.
Actually, do you see this tool?
Yeah.
Yeah, this one is not on the right place. This one should be here.
Here.
Yeah.
Okay.
And another one here for the table B.
Yeah, exactly.
So table A has to be copied on the table A during mobility, and table B you should be able to copy it to the table B during mobility.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I understand it. I'll notify the developers and see if we can't have this squared away. It seems pretty clear to me now.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you very much.
Actually, you did it here for the after the mobility. You see, you did it here.
Okay.
And here you did it also. That's perfect. And this one should be able also here in the part, in this part.
Okay.
That's really convenient to have this tool also for the during mobility. Actually, exactly the same tool here.
I think that I think I've spoken to the developers before, and they were under the impression that just the changes go in that section. So they didn't see the reason why you would want to copy the original table. But now the way that you explain it, it makes more sense. So that should be pretty reasonable thing for them to do.
That's great. Yeah.
And if I may, for the after the mobility, it should copy not the before mobility, but the during mobility.
Yeah.
Right. Or even better, both. But we need something like that.
Yeah, I think I understand it. I'll make sure to communicate with Salvatore afterwards to make sure everything correct.
Yeah.
I'll see what I can do.
Okay, thank you very much.
And was it Isabella?
Yeah,
Okay, great. Thanks, Isabella.
my pleasure.
Well, there is another question or something?
I think there are no questions.
Okay.
Okay, I see in the Q&A thing. I see. I don't know if you already. Yes. Did you see the question from Christian from Wolfgang?
Well, actually, I
Wolfgang?
cannot open
The
chat
chat.
with the
Yeah,
questions.
it's no, it's you need to you see the tabs. One is content stage, the other one is Q&A, and the questions of the chat are there actually there. So Christian is asking, is it possible that the student himself creates the learning agreement? As we ask our
No, he needs to receive a notification
he needs to receive a notification that it has been
from the host or the sending institution.
And then he can create it?
As I can understand.
Maybe.
Because when I'm student, if I don't receive this email, I cannot create the agreements, if I'm right. So to receive this email with the link, I need to notify the student first. Because in the part of learning the application of the students, if I see here the application, if I do right, offers here, to my applicant. Yeah, so no, I cannot, if I'm right, I cannot just generate a learning agreement by the student himself. He needs to receive this email with the link and create the agreement.
So the agreement is created
Yeah.
already.
Yeah, from the easy system using the export profile, you're absolutely right. The student can't initiate that process on their own from inside the C system. However, they can go to the learning agreement tool at the website dream-agreement-eu, and they can start one from scratch on their own.
So they can do here, student easy, Yeah. But I didn't do it, so I don't know how.
But if they start one,
if they can create a new agreement here.
But if they start one of their own, it's not pre-filled with the data from their application.
Yeah, it's empty.
It's empty. So
you will have this one. You see, is empty. The agreement is completely empty, so he needs to complete everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in order to use the export ability of the easy system, it needs to be initiated by one of the coordinators. However, that doesn't mean that the student can't log into the Dream Agreement tool on their own and fill out everything from scratch. Yeah.
If you see here my middle screen, you can see that I just so I went to this address, internet, dreamagreement.eu. When I go there, I need to log in with my student account, and I can make a new agreement. You can see here, new agreements, and you need to be sure that the students say that I'm a student, of course. And if you do it well, you can see that I'm the student, but everything is empty. So you need to complete everything again, and the dates, the things. So it makes more time for the students than the previous step. But it's possible, but with empty learning agreements.
Okay. Then she's asking also, furthermore, I would like to know if it is possible to change the responsible person for signature instead of the IRC at my institution. Because in my institution, usually the dean has to sign the learning agreement for incoming students and the head of the examination board for outgoing students.
If you are the sending coordinator, I think it's not possible, but for the receiving coordinator, it's possible to send with a new email. You can write the email of your dean, of the sending institution's dean, is possible.
Now wait, you said that the sending coordinators cannot change the signatures, right?
The sending coordinator, actually no. He has to sign as with his account. Actually, if I'm not wrong.
I don't know if Breck knows or.
Oh yeah, sorry, I have a little food in my mouth. Yeah, using that underneath the blue save button, you see the share via email. Yeah.
Yeah, you can. Yeah. So you can do it and put it the dean email from the receiving coordinator.
Yeah, they should be able to be signed by more than one person. So how about you put in my email address, BRECK.
What's your BRECK?
Dot SHUYLER. Y, like epsilon, upsilon, SHUY.
SHUY.
LER. Like Lima, elephant, or Echo, Romeo, at DreamApply.
DreamApply.com.
Yeah. And I'll go ahead and sign this agreement as well, and we'll see what it looks like.
So now here by sharing, I put the email of the dean of the receiving coordinator.
Mm-hmm.
So it could be possible. Normally it's possible, yeah. You can share.
Okay, so the receiving can change the signature, but the sending cannot.
We will see. No, normally I should receive an email. I should see another signature of break here. You see?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm waiting.
Let's see.
I'm signing it right now.
Okay. Maybe you need to refresh. Could be.
Refresh, yeah.
Okay.
There we go. My signature is there.
Okay, so you can add the signatures.
Yeah, you can add a signature, yeah.
And you can see how above where it says add signature, it shows my name, my email address, how I accessed this.
But here I can see that it's Salvatore. That's not normal.
Mm.
You see?
Right, that's...
Normally it should be your name here. You didn't change when you signed, I think.
Yeah, there's...
I think you didn't change.
But you can change normally.
Let me click the link again.
Yeah, try again.
Oh, yeah, where I was signing my name, I didn't change anything.
Yeah, you didn't change. Normally break is here, you see, break. Normally you need to change here, break, Sheila.
Yep. There we go.
So the answer is yes, it's possible by, you see, here.
For the sending. At the
Yeah,
sending.
Both.
Yeah. If the receiving institution person is the person pressing the share via email button, then it would be signed underneath that that position.
Yeah. So both coordinators can send the learning agreement to be signed by another person, and the signature will be added to the table signatures here. Signatures table.
Okay. I think we answered Christian. I don't know if Christian is still online. I see her. Christian, does it answer your question? We'll see. Yeah, I think so. Yes. She says yes.
Okay, great.
Okay. We still have 10 minutes in theory, but I don't see any other question.
So you see that the student part can see also the break signature here. I'm the student. And what is quite good, actually very good, that no one has to resign again if you add a signature, if I'm correct. Because here Break has added his signature, and I don't need to sign again the learning agreements.
Yeah, as long as none of the details of the agreement have changed, those current signatures should remain valid.
Yeah, exactly. So the learning agreement is still valid with added signature. So that's great. So here you can see I'm the sending coordinator. So I can see the break signature here, and everything is green, so I can frozen the learning agreements, and the receiving coordinator also has the 3 signature, and the student here on the middle has also the 4 signatures. So everything is fine. So now I can export, print, and of course save. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, great.
I think we are there.
Bye-bye from Lyon.
Bye. So we can declare the webinar closed.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. We hope you enjoyed it, and hopefully the recording is good and we can post it. Okay, thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Ciao, adios.
Ciao, adios. Bye. Auf Wiedersehen. Au revoir.
Bye.
Bye.
Can we close?
Yes, let's close.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.